pretest 1B, and I just want to remind you that if you can do all the questions on these pretests, you will be ready to do very, very well on your first test that's coming up. If there's anything you can't do on here, then assume for every question you can't do on here, there's one question that you will get wrong on your test. So hopefully you won't get any wrong. Now, the point behind number one, these are prep type of questions that we went over, is to remember that you can always check. So even if you don't feel comfortable solving the equation, you can check all the answers and find the one that works. The solution goes 10 minus 3x is 28. Remember, this is the danger moment. The 3x is being multiplied by -3. So that negative side has nothing to do with the 10. It has everything to do with the 3x. So the first move is to look at this 10, which is positive, and do the opposite, which is to subtract 10. I get -3x is 18. Then I divide by -3, and I get x is -6. Next one up, find the probability of A or D. I look at the areas that have an A or a D in them. There are 3 such areas. It is 3/8. You will not get anything quite as simple as this, but it does set up some ideas on the test. 4 foot by 12 foot is 48 square feet. Next up, on a map, the distance between the baseball field and the softball field is 3 inches. In reality, the distance is 3.8 miles, which is the best choice. So, you know, there is a really good advantage to doing questions like this when you say, okay, let's get rid of these denominators, because this is a multiple operation situation. So it's 3.8 miles times 5,280 feet per mile times 12 inches per foot. And then what happens is the feet cancel each other out, the miles cancel each other out, or go die-die, or get abducted by aliens, or whatever you want to say. And the only thing you're left with is inches. And that's what you're looking in the problem. You're looking for how many inches, because the question asks you what's the scale used, and I can tell you now that there is one like this, and they're going to look for inches compared to inches. Yes, you can look at certain maps and it'll say 1/2 inch equals 3 miles, but that's not going to be a choice here. You're going to have to be able to convert from inches to inches. 3.8 times 5,280 times 12 is 240,768. And you know that's a distractor type of answer in the choices, because you have to remember that that was for 3 inches. So the choice you're going to be given is that 1 map inch is equal to so many actual inches. So don't forget to divide by 3, and you get 80,256. Now we'll talk a little absolute and relative change. My grandparents bought a house in West Babylon, New York for $8,000 in 1941. I actually think it was 1940, and I actually think it was $7,000, but whatever. The house was sold in 2013 for $370,000. Might have even been more than that. What's the percent change? So $370,000 minus $8,000 was $362,000 change. It went up that much. That's some serious money made. That's why we'll talk about this when we talk about managing money, but your house is definitely an investment. It's more than just a place to live. Professor Lindquist's parents bought a house in Blue Point, New York for $23,000 in 1973. I actually think it was $29,000. The house was sold in 2021 for $490,000, which is exactly what I think it was sold for. What's the relative change? 490 minus 23 is $467,000. And you got to divide that. Whenever you do a relative change, it's always by the reference or original amount. So you divide that by 23,000. And that's 2,030%. Now that might seem like a ridiculously high number, but look at how much the house increased in value, from just over 20,000 to almost $500,000. That's why the percent is such a large number. Going into a wrestling season, Adam weighed 195 pounds. After practicing for a month, he weighed 179 pounds. This is, by the way, a pretty real-life example. What's his absolute weight change? Well, if he goes from 195 to 179, it's 179 minus 195. He's gone down 16 pounds. All right, if same situation here, but this time, what's the relative weight change? Well, he lost 16 pounds out of the 195 he started at. So when I do that division, I get negative 8.2%. Next, you're invited to a wedding and you plan to buy a set of fine silverware for the bride and I forgot to write groom. Oh, I can be such an idiot. The bride and, okay, like, you know, is the bride marrying herself? Who knows? So for the bride and groom, you find the perfect set of silverware for 28% off the regular price. Which of the following is true? You pay 28%. No, it's 28% off. You pay 128%. No, that would be you're paying more than the original price. Nobody does that. You pay 72%. That you do, because it was 100% minus 28% leaves 72% of the original price that you pay. Convert 85 kilometers per hour to miles per hour. I didn't write the per hours in the scratch work, but it works. 85 kilometers, and it's 0.6214 miles per kilometer. So if you're doing 85 kilometers per hour and you multiply those two to convert to miles, you're doing 52.819, and you're probably going to be rounding to the nearest tenth, 52.8 miles per hour. Number 11, Johnny works at a car dealership that sold 7,333 cars in the last 6 months. Johnny sells 27 of them. What percent did he sell? Well, that's the percent proportion here. Percent over 100 is part over whole. I don't know the percent, so N goes in the upper left. And the part is 27 is the part that Johnny sold out of the 7,333 altogether. Cross multiply, and I get 2,700 equals 7,333 N. I don't think this answer can possibly be correct. I really don't think it's correct. Let me see what I get here. 2,700 divided by 2700 divided by, and that is correct there, 7333. Yeah, it's just 0.36%. It's not 36.8%. So that would be on number 11. I will correct this in Moodle, and then you know what it is here. The answer is just 0.368. I know why. I know why I got this wrong, because in the back of my mind it was only supposed to be 733 cars, and that's what messed it up. So the correct answer to this is 0.368%. The decimal's in the wrong place. It should simply be 0.368%. Got that clear? One more time. 0.368. Do not move the decimal to the right. You already have it as a percent. When you only sell 27 out of 7,333 cars, you haven't sold very much. It's not even 1%. 1% would be 73 cars. So that's why the answer is what it is. Okay. Again, I'll have to put a message up on Moodle about that, which I will. And I do something stupid on every test I've ever taken in my whole life, every pre-test. I do apologize for that, and I hate to say it to you, but kind of get used to it, because I always do something stupid. I never got 100 on a New York State Regents exam. Always got real high grades, upper 90s. I always made stupid mistakes. My kids in class used to pick on me all the time because of it, and they were 100% right to do so. Number 12, conversion factors. There are $0.008482 per yen and 117.9 yen per dollar. This was at some point in time, but there was a factor at one point. If necessary, round your answer to the nearest tenth. How many dollars are in 55,878 yen? Well, 55,878 yen times, now you want dollars per yen here so that the yens go cancel each other out. They go die, they disappear, get abducted by aliens, squished by Sasquatch, whatever you want to say. 55,878 times 0.008482 is $474.0. Notice dollars is the only thing left, so you know that you're doing it in the right units. Next, how many yen are in $747? So you start with the dollars, but now what you multiply by has to have yen per dollar, so the $2 go die. And 747 times 117.9 is 88,071.3 yen. Okay, so next up, you're buying carpet for your bedroom floor. Your bedroom measures 19 feet by 15 feet. How many square feet of carpet do you need? That's easy. Just do 19 times 15. It gives you 285 square feet. Now we get a little trickier. We're going to convert this to square yards. To do that, you have to realize two ways to do it. We'll do it the small to big way. That means you need to divide. But you're not dividing by the conversion factor of 3 because there's 3 feet in a yard. We're dividing by 9 because it's 3 squared. Just like the units are squared, the conversion factor is squared. That is always true. So 285 divided by 9 is 31.7 square yards. Part C, if each square yard costs $29.75, how much does it cost to carpet the floor? So you get 31.7, the previous answer, times 29.75, and you get 943.08. But in a cruel twist of currency fate, you never order exactly the amount you need. You always order typically 10% more, because that way when the waste is done, you have enough. And so if you order 100%, that's all that you need, and you need an extra 10%. So that's 110% of what you need. So 110% is 1.10 times 943.08, and that gives you $1,037.38. All right, that'll be the end of video 1. We'll pick up at number 14 on video 2.